people.
People are still conditioned to be like default Democrats.
Yeah,
and so
blue
they're
dog.
still getting used to the idea that the Democrat policies that they've had that they've been, living under are actually not working, and they're having tangitive negative results in their lives. There are so many people out there that for the longest time had just bought into I'm a Democrat because they're the nice people. Those are the moderates that we're actually trying to reach, and those are the people that I say that are like, okay, these are the liberals that we need to reach to get them to come over to our side or whatever. And the reason is because you get an entire narrative fed to you for 20 years or more. Just fed to you all the time, whether it be in the news or whether it be Jon Stewart or whether it be in movies, whatever it is, it's always the same narrative. And so you've got people that are just now getting comfortable with the idea that's like, maybe the Democrats are actually wrong. Maybe the policies, maybe it's not just lies from the Republicans. Maybe the bad things that we're seeing, that I'm feeling, maybe it's real. Maybe it's not just lies from the Republicans. Maybe the Republicans aren't just racist. Maybe it isn't just that they're the bad guys and we're the good guys. Maybe the Democrats are actually wrong. So thank goodness that the people are waking up, but it's about time.
So I pulled up 270 to win Senate projection. Right now, Republicans are expected in 2024 to get 50 seats in the Senate. Democrats right now 47, but that's actually 45 Democrats and 2 independents who caucus with Democrats. We're looking at 3 toss-up states.
Yep.
So we've got 3 seats which could be won: Arizona, Montana, and Ohio. And I really feel like Montana.
Jon Tester.
He's awful.
Yeah, it's just, I think we're so polarized. I don't see a reality in which Montana decides. I understand Bozeman's up there, but West Virginia was Democrat. I think Riley Moore was saying he's the first Republican state treasurer in something like 80 years, something like that.
Long time.
The polarization has and Manchin, like he's up for re-election in a couple of years, right? Or what's
Manchin's leaving.
Yep.
Leaving right now or leaving in 2 years?
Well, the Senate race that's going on right now is to fill the seat that he is vacating at the end of his term.
Right. Okay. That's
But it ends this fall, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It ends in November.
That's what I was wondering.
It ends like when this year's
Yeah.
turnover happens.
There's no way he could win. There's no way he's winning in West Virginia. That's
This
the
was
issue.
a big debate because it was like, is he going to retire? Is he going to declare himself independent? And then he announced, like, I am going to step away. And he sort of has toyed with this idea of running like a uniparty ticket. You saw him sitting with Romney at the State of the
Uniparty,
Union. It's weird, but I do think that, a Manchin Democrat is very different than an Ilhan Omar Democrat, right? Like, their party is bifurcated in the way that conservative Republican parties are as well. To your point, I think you're totally right. I think people are realizing that this idea that like Democrats are the nice people and therefore voting for them is always a vote for the nice thing isn't always right. I also think that conservatives have become more discerning of who is running with the R on their ticket. I think there were a long time where people would be like, oh, well, I'm, let's say I'm an evangelical, so I'm always going to vote for the Republican because they have my values. Actually, there are faults in the Republican Party, too. There are a lot of Republicans who say they're for certain values and they don't actually represent them or they don't vote for them. Their history doesn't back that up. And I think that is why it's hard, because there are so many races to pay attention to. At the same time, you have your own life. You can't pay attention to every single thing every single candidate says. And discerning which people are true to your values is really important.
Well, and I think a lot of people are blatantly faking it and have been for a long time, and now they're all getting exposed. So a good example, by the way, I feel that about a lot of Democrats and Republicans.
What do you mean flake?
Here's what I mean.
Good.
Like we mentioned Montana earlier, Jon Tester. So Jon Tester is as Democrat progressive as it gets, but every single election cycle, he gets out his old rifle that he's never shot. He
talks about his farm.
He talks about his farm. He talks about his country upbringing, how he's for down home Montana values. And then when you reelect him, he'll go and vote with Ilhan Omar. I know he's obviously in the Senate and she's in the House, but they'll have the same sort of agenda on every single thing. For a while, that would work because people aren't paying attention after the election. But now with how everything's been blown up in social media, you can't get by anymore kind of faking it.